The 1970s were a time of experimentation and bold flavors in the kitchen. Many iconic desserts from that era have been forgotten, but their deliciousness is unforgettable. Let's dive into 20 desserts from the 70s that were so good, it hurts they're gone. Number 1, 7-Up cake. The 7-Up cake was a unique and iconic dessert that gained popularity during the 1970s. This bundt cake used 7-Up soda as a key ingredient, not only for its leavening properties, but also for its distinct citrus flavor. The soda replaced traditional baking ingredients like milk or water, resulting in a moist, fluffy texture and a light lemon-lime zing. Often topped with a simple powdered sugar glaze or a lemony frosting, the cake was a staple at family gatherings and potlucks. Over time, its popularity declined as more elaborate desserts emerged, but it remains a nostalgic favorite for those who remember its simple charm. Number 2, Sunshine Salad. Sunshine Salad was a vibrant and cheerful dessert that epitomized the creative gelatin dishes of the 1970s. This bright treat combined lemon-flavored Jell-O with crushed pineapple and shredded carrots, creating a sweet yet slightly tangy flavor with a crunchy texture. Often served in elegant molds, it was a highlight of family dinners and potlucks, bringing a pop of color to the table. Sometimes topped with a dollop of whipped cream or mayonnaise for a savory twist, it blurred the lines between dessert and salad. As gelatin-based dishes fell out of favor, Sunshine Salad became a forgotten relic of its era. Number 3, Harvey Wallbanger cake. The Harvey Wallbanger cake was inspired by the popular cocktail of the same name, a mix of vodka, orange juice, and Galliano liqueur. This bundt cake captured the flavors of the drink, with orange-flavored cake mix enhanced by the addition of real orange juice, a splash of vodka, and Galliano. The liqueur added a distinct vanilla anise flavor, setting it apart from other cakes of the time. Often topped with a sweet glaze made with more Galliano, it became a hit at adult gatherings. As trends shifted away from cocktail-themed desserts, the Harvey Wallbanger cake gradually faded into obscurity, though its bold flavors remain memorable. Number 4, Icebox Fruitcake. Icebox fruitcake was a simple yet indulgent dessert that became a favorite during the 1970s. Unlike traditional baked fruitcakes, this version required no oven. Made by mixing crushed graham crackers, dried fruits like raisins and cherries, chopped nuts, and sweetened condensed milk, the mixture was pressed into a loaf pan and chilled in the refrigerator. Sometimes spiced with cinnamon or nutmeg, it was a rich and chewy treat, perfect for holidays or potlucks. The icebox fruitcake was easy to prepare and had a long shelf life. But as baking trends evolved, it became overshadowed by more refined desserts and eventually forgotten. Number 5, Chocolate Charlotte. Chocolate Charlotte was a sophisticated dessert that graced many tables in the 1970s, admired for its visual appeal and rich flavor. This no-bake treat involved lining a mold, often a springform pan or a bowl, with ladyfingers or sponge cake slices, creating a sturdy shell. The filling was a luscious chocolate mousse made with melted chocolate, whipped cream, and sometimes a splash of coffee or liqueur for added depth. Once assembled, it was chilled until firm and served as a show-stopping centerpiece. Although its intricate preparation was impressive, it required careful layering and refrigeration, which contributed to its decline as quicker desserts gained popularity. Number 6, Waldorf pudding. Waldorf pudding was a lesser-known but indulgent dessert inspired by the famous Waldorf salad, incorporating similar ingredients into a sweet custard-based treat. Popular in the 1970s, this dessert featured a rich vanilla or butterscotch custard as its base, combined with chopped apples, plump raisins, and crunchy walnuts. Often spiced with cinnamon or nutmeg, it offered a balance of creamy, fruity, and nutty textures, making it both hearty and flavorful. Unlike its salad counterpart, Waldorf pudding was typically served warm, topped with whipped cream or a drizzle of caramel sauce. Its preparation was relatively straightforward, allowing home cooks to transform simple pantry staples into a dessert fit for family dinners or gatherings. As tastes evolved and simpler, less rustic desserts became fashionable, Waldorf pudding fell out of favor. However, its unique combination of flavors remains a nostalgic reminder of the creative culinary spirit of the 1970s. Number 7. Peanut butter pinwheels. Peanut butter pinwheels were a simple yet delightful no-bake candy treat that became a household favorite during the 1970s. This dessert combined powdered sugar, milk, and sometimes mashed potatoes to create a pliable, sweet dough. The dough was rolled out flat, then layered with a smooth peanut butter spread. Once rolled into a log shape, it was sliced into pinwheels, revealing a beautiful swirl of peanut butter and sugary layers. The pinwheels were loved for their soft, fudge-like texture and perfect balance of sweetness with the nutty richness of peanut butter. Quick to make, they were often a go-to dessert for holidays, potlucks, or after-school treats. Despite their simplicity and charm, peanut butter pinwheels gradually faded in popularity as more elaborate desserts and commercially made candies took over. Today, they remain a nostalgic reminder of the 1970s, with a flavor and appearance that evokes warm family memories. Number 8. Tomato soup cake. Tomato soup cake, often called mystery cake, was a surprising yet beloved dessert in the 1970s. Its unusual ingredient, condensed tomato soup, added moisture and a subtle tang, which paired perfectly with the warm spices that defined its flavor. Typically, the batter included cinnamon, nutmeg, and cloves, along with staples like flour, sugar, and eggs. The result was a moist, spiced cake reminiscent of carrot or spice cake, though the tomato flavor was undetectable. Topped with cream cheese frosting or a simple dusting of powdered sugar, the cake was a hit at potlucks and family gatherings. The novelty of its secret ingredient made it a conversation starter, while its rich flavor and tender crumb won over skeptics. As baking trends shifted toward simpler or more visually elaborate desserts, tomato soup cake fell out of favor. However, its legacy endures as a testament to the creativity and resourcefulness of 1970s home cooks. Number 9. Pineapple Delight. Pineapple Delight was a refreshing and creamy dessert that captured the bright, tropical flavors so popular in the 1970s. This no-bake treat featured a simple graham cracker crust as its base, topped with a rich, layered filling. The first layer typically consisted of a whipped mixture of butter, powdered sugar, and cream cheese, creating a tangy and smooth texture. This was followed by a sweet layer of crushed pineapple, which added juiciness and a burst of tropical flavor. Finally, a generous topping of whipped cream or Cool Whip completed the dessert, creating a light and airy finish. Loved for its easy preparation and vibrant taste, Pineapple Delight was a hit at potlucks, backyard barbecues, and family gatherings. Its balance of sweet and tangy flavors made it versatile and universally appealing. Over time, as baking trends leaned toward more elaborate desserts, this humble, nostalgic dish began to fade from popularity. Number 10. Grasshopper Squares. Grasshopper Squares were a chic dessert of the 1970s, inspired by the classic grasshopper cocktail, known for its refreshing blend of crème de menthe and crème de cacao. These no-bake treats featured a creamy mint filling layered over a chocolate cookie or graham cracker crust, often topped with a thin layer of dark chocolate ganache or chocolate shavings for added elegance. The filling, made with whipped cream and crème de menthe liqueur, gave the dessert its signature pale green color and a cool, minty flavor. This sophisticated yet easy-to-make dessert became a favorite at dinner parties and holiday gatherings, where it added a touch of retro glamour. Despite its popularity, Grasshopper Squares gradually faded from the dessert scene as tastes shifted toward fruitier or richer chocolate-based treats. Today, they remain a nostalgic reminder of the playful experimentation and love for cocktail-inspired desserts that defined the 1970s. Number 11. Danish puff pastry. Danish puff pastry was a show-stopping dessert of the 1970s, known for its delicate layers and buttery, flaky texture. Despite its name, This dessert was a simplified version of traditional Danish pastry, making it accessible for home cooks. It started with a base of buttery short crust dough, topped with a choux pastry layer that puffed beautifully during baking. After baking, it was finished with a glossy almond glaze and sprinkled with slivered almonds for crunch, adding an irresistible combination of sweetness and nuttiness. The dessert was often served in slices, making it a versatile option for coffee mornings, brunches, or as a light treat after dinner. Its labor-intensive preparation, requiring careful layering and attention to detail, contributed to its decline in popularity. As quicker and less fussy desserts gained traction, Danish puff pastry became a rare find, though its nostalgic charm and rich flavor remain unforgettable. Number 12. Pink Cloud Pie. Pink Cloud Pie was a whimsical and easy-to-make dessert that delighted families in the 1970s. This no-bake pie earned its name from its airy pastel pink appearance, which came from a combination of cherry-flavored Jell-O and whipped topping. The base was a simple graham cracker crust, providing a sweet and crunchy foundation for the cloud-like filling. The filling itself was a mix of prepared Jell-O, softened cream cheese, and whipped cream, which created a light yet creamy texture. The pie was often garnished with maraschino cherries or a sprinkle of coconut for added flair. Its simplicity and vibrant color made it a favorite for summer gatherings, bridal showers, and family dinners. As tastes evolved and no-bake desserts became more diverse, Pink Cloud Pie fell out of favor. However, it remains a nostalgic treat for those who remember its playful sweetness and retro charm. Number 13. Oatmeal Lace Cookies. Oatmeal lace cookies were a light and crisp dessert beloved in the 1970s for their elegant appearance and simple preparation. Made with rolled oats, butter, brown sugar, and a touch of vanilla, these cookies baked into thin golden rounds with a lacy texture that looked almost too pretty to eat. Their delicate nature meant they were often served as a special treat during holidays or at tea parties. The cookies' buttery flavor and slight caramelization from the sugar made them irresistibly sweet, while their thin, crisp texture offered a satisfying crunch. Sometimes they were paired with a drizzle of chocolate or used as a base for sandwich cookies filled with cream or ganache. However, their fragility in handling and storage made them less practical as modern baking trends moved toward sturdier, chewier cookies. Oatmeal lace cookies may no longer be a household staple, but their timeless charm and delicate sweetness remain a treasured memory. Number 14. Chiffon cake. Chiffon cake was a revolutionary dessert in the 1970s, celebrated for its unique texture that combined the richness of a butter cake with the lightness of a sponge cake. Made with oil instead of butter, the cake had a moist, tender crumb and a delicate flavor, often enhanced with citrus like lemon or orange. Its preparation involved beating egg whites separately until stiff peaks formed and then folding them into the batter, creating its signature airy quality. Often baked in a tube pan to achieve its tall, elegant shape, chiffon cake was a versatile dessert. It could be served plain, dusted with powdered sugar, or dressed up with fruit glazes or whipped cream for special occasions. Despite its popularity, the labor-intensive process and the rise of richer, denser cakes led to its decline. Today, chiffon cake is a nostalgic reminder of the 1970s, appreciated for its delicate flavor and light-as-a-cloud texture. Number 15, Orange Fluff Salad. Orange Fluff Salad was a quintessential 1970s dessert that blurred the line between salad and dessert, reflecting the era's love for sweet and creamy concoctions. This no-bake treat was a hit at potlucks and family gatherings due to its vibrant orange hue and unique texture. It was made by combining orange-flavored gelatin, Jell-O, Cool Whip or whipped cream, cottage cheese, and canned mandarin oranges. Mini marshmallows were often added for extra sweetness and a fun, chewy texture. The result was a creamy, tangy, and slightly zesty dish with a burst of citrus flavor. Its simplicity and refreshing nature made it a staple for summer picnics and holiday dinners alike. Despite its popularity, the orange fluff salad faded from favor as modern tastes shifted toward fresh, less processed desserts. However, its nostalgic appeal remains, evoking memories of the playful, colorful dishes that defined 1970s culinary creativity. Number 16. Shoo-fly cake. Shoo-fly cake was a beloved adaptation of the classic Pennsylvania Dutch shoo-fly pie, made popular during the 1970s for its simplicity and rich flavor. Like its pie counterpart, this dessert featured the distinct, deep sweetness of molasses, but in a more approachable, cake-like form. The batter was a mix of molasses, flour, sugar, butter, and warm spices like cinnamon, creating a dense, moist cake with a crumbly topping. This cake earned its whimsical name from its origin. Molasses was said to attract flies, which bakers had to shoo away. Shoo-fly cake offered a hearty, rustic flavor that paired well with coffee or tea, making it a comforting choice for breakfasts or gatherings. Over time, as lighter and more visually elaborate cakes gained popularity, the humble shoo-fly cake fell out of favor. Despite this, it remains a cherished relic of the 1970s, loved for its rich history and old-fashioned sweetness. Number 17. Strawberry Chiffon Squares. Strawberry chiffon squares were a popular dessert during the 1970s, celebrated for their light, airy texture and refreshing flavor. This no-bake dessert was built on a buttery shortbread or graham cracker crust, providing a crunchy base for the creamy layers above. The filling was a delightful blend of strawberry Jell-O, whipped cream, and fresh or frozen strawberries, creating a fluffy and vibrant pink layer. To achieve the perfect chiffon-like consistency, whipped cream or Cool Whip was carefully folded into the gelatin mixture, resulting in a dessert that was as visually appealing as it was delicious. Often topped with additional whipped cream or a sprinkling of grated chocolate, strawberry chiffon squares were a hit at summer gatherings, bridal showers, and family celebrations. While its simplicity and fruity charm made it a favorite of its time, the rise of more complex, visually striking desserts eventually overshadowed this classic. However, its nostalgic appeal endures, evoking memories of 1970s culinary creativity. Number 18. Vanilla pudding cake. Vanilla pudding cake was a warm, comforting dessert that held a special place on tables in the 1970s. What set it apart was its magical transformation during baking. A rich batter, infused with vanilla, sugar, and milk, separated into a moist, sponge-like cake on top and a luscious pudding layer underneath as it cooked. This dessert was simple to make, using pantry staples like flour, sugar, eggs, and milk, with a hint of vanilla extract for flavor. Once baked, it was best served warm, allowing the creamy pudding layer to ooze onto the plate. Often topped with a dusting of powdered sugar or a dollop of whipped cream, vanilla pudding cake was a go-to choice for family dinners and casual get-togethers. Though beloved for its cozy, homemade feel, the rise of more elaborate or chilled desserts in later decades caused this nostalgic treat to fade from popularity. However, its simplicity and warm flavors still evoke fond memories for those who enjoyed its charm. Number 19. Lazy Daisy cake. Lazy Daisy cake was a staple dessert in the 1970s, cherished for its simplicity and delicate flavor. This moist sponge cake was made with basic pantry ingredients, such as eggs, sugar, flour, and milk, and relied on a traditional hot milk method to achieve its light yet tender crumb. The magic of this dessert, however, lay in its topping, a caramelized coconut glaze. After baking, the cake was spread with a mixture of shredded coconut, brown sugar, butter, and cream, then briefly broiled until the topping bubbled and turned golden. The result was a cake with a slightly crisp, gooey topping that contrasted beautifully with the soft sponge below. Its ease of preparation made it a favorite for busy families and casual gatherings. But as dessert trends evolved toward more visually elaborate cakes, Lazy Daisy cake faded into obscurity. Still, its timeless combination of texture and flavor makes it a nostalgic treasure for those who remember it fondly. Number 20. Lemon Icebox Cheesecake. Lemon Icebox Cheesecake was a refreshing and effortless dessert that embodied the no-bake trend of the 1970s. Combining tangy, sweet flavors with a creamy texture, it became a go-to treat for warm weather gatherings. This dessert started with a classic graham cracker crust, providing a sturdy and slightly nutty base for the luscious filling. The filling was a simple yet decadent mixture of cream cheese, sweetened condensed milk, fresh lemon juice, and zest. The citrus not only added a bright, zesty flavor, but also helped thicken the mixture as it chilled in the refrigerator. The dessert was typically topped with a dollop of whipped cream or a sprinkling of grated lemon zest for extra flair. Its no-bake preparation made it convenient for busy households, but as baking trends leaned toward more elaborate cheesecakes, lemon icebox cheesecake gradually fell out of fashion. However, its creamy, tangy charm remains a fond memory of 1970s simplicity and taste.